Imagine a vast, ancient forest. It provides critical climate stability, protects regional rainfall, and sustains deep networks of biodiversity. On a traditional GDP ledger, this forest sits at exactly zero. The system only counts market exchange, keeping pristine ecosystems economically invisible. But the moment you level the forest for timber, the ledger registers a massive spike in growth. The economy is suddenly thriving. The nation has traded a permanent foundational asset for a one-time cash injection. This illustrates flowblindness. The system recognizes wealth only at the specific moment it moves through a market as an extracted good. Using GDP as the primary metric for success turns the act of preservation into a form of economic invisibility. This measurement failure shapes the actual behavior of resource-rich nations worldwide. The model of Extractonomics rewards the rapid removal of natural resources while ignoring the strategic advantages of holding them.
Nations under fiscal pressure often treat their minerals and land as emergency cash reserves to service immediate debt. As this timeline shows, a brief spike in revenue comes at the cost of long-term national capacity. The future inheritance is liquidated to solve a current budget gap. Within this framework, rapid extraction signals structural vulnerability and compromised sovereignty. These resources eventually enter a global market characterized by a power imbalance between the seller and the buyer. This scale separates a commodity's temporary market price from its true strategic value. A simple price tag ignores future scarcity, industrial potential, and ecological function. Pricecapture allows external markets to assign low costs to raw assets, ignoring their deeper foundational worth. The sale of raw materials functions as a transfer of future industrial power, moving strategic value over to the buyer's side of the ledger. Relying on external market prices to define worth limits a nation's ability to develop its own technological future. Sovereignomics proposes a different model for economic strength. Preservation and environmental protection function as aggressive strategies to maintain leverage and protect future development options. This is stock wealthing. It replaces the focus on annual output with an evaluation of the total assets a country preserves and controls. The traditional ledger of economic activity becomes just one small part of a much larger capacity. Success in this framework requires nations to exercise absolute authority over how their resources are valued and processed within their own borders. Our current economic vocabulary is built around terms for extraction and temporary price. True national wealth resides in the foundational assets a nation has the discipline to structure and pass on to the next generation.